Lost Art of Fishing Stories, written by Andrew Cox. Get your copy today. Go to Amazon and search The Lost Art of Fishing Stories. The Lost Art Project, Veteran Voices with Andrew Cox. Preserving history, one veteran story at a time. Marine Corps League and Till Valhalla Project Ambassador. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast that's given a voice to our veterans. The Lost Art Project, Veteran Voices with Andrew Cox.
Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Lost Art Project Veterans Voices. Tonight, we are doing, I get echo like a school. I don't know where it's coming from. Tonight, we are doing FireSide chat with the crew. So, hopefully,
why is my AirPods connecting? Can you give me my case?
Somebody's talking. I don't know who
it's right by where your stuff is laying.
Anyway, so it's a good time. For everybody out there, if you're enjoying these podcasts, make sure you go to the website, check us out. That's lostart.podbean.com. There's a couple ways you can help support us. You can go in, there's a one-time donation. You can become a patron with a monthly donation, or you can purchase merchandise. Get you some cool shirt, a hat, anything like that. Anything helps us out, and everything will be much appreciated. A big shout out to the Till Valhalla Project out there doing amazing things. If you don't know anything about them, you need to go check them out. Even if you do, you need to go check them out again, because you never know. They've got some cool stuff, and you can help them in their mission. But you can find them at tillvalhallaproject.com.
Are you a Marine veteran? Are you missing that bond you had on active duty? Then I have a place for you. Join the only congressionally chartered Marine Corps Veteran Service Organization, the Marine Corps League. Get that brother and sisterhood back in your life. Become one of the fewer, the prouder, a Marine Corps League member.
Let's go around the country. All right, we are back. We got the crew. Oh, I'm excited. Bone, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Just finished my first week of my second year of nursing school. So we are hurtling toward the end, thank God. And I will no longer be a displaced worker by the end of June. So that'll be delightful. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's going by quick, isn't it?
It has. The first year is crazy, and it's been nice to get back in, start sticking people with needles, driving IVs. It's like riding a bike. I haven't lost it. So
nice.
It's been a few years, but back to some invasive medicine. I'm about it.
Yeah, that's always fun. Invasive medicine. I like how you put that too. That's good.
So,
yeah. All right, Mark, how you doing?
Everything's great out here in California, except the prices of gas, of course. Got the highest in the nation. But the weather is just unbelievably beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow, it's just gorgeous out here. Got crazy politicians. The old Governor Newsom's trying to do some gerrymandering in all our voting districts and stuff like that. But other than that, like I said, everything's great. Still working for the Wounded Warrior Project, doing a lot of great things with them. It's such a phenomenal organization. I'm really impressed with the more I work for them, the longer I work for them, more I find out about them, more impressed I am with them.
Oh yeah. It's an amazing organization. We had the one lady on that was a Gold Star mom when she came on. I mean, she did a really good job. But yeah, and you've talked about them many a times on here. But amazing organization.
Yep.
All right, Sensei, how you doing?
And right when you come to me, it freaks.
We hear you. We don't hear you. Mike, how you doing?
What are we subscribing to?
Are we good?
The
All right, we good?
podcast.
Hey, all right.
No, it popped up under Vic. It's like subscribed.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a new
okay.
thing that I found that I can
Oh,
put on
okay.
there.
I'm sorry.
Like and subscribe, everybody. Like and subscribe. All right, Vic, are you good now? No,
Oh, he's
Mike,
frozen.
are you good?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
So how are you doing, Mike?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, I heard. I heard my son's girlfriend was starting nursing school this week, along with going back to school with you, Bone. So
Nice.
yeah. Well, it was last week actually. I'm sorry, but you guys are kicking it back off. I mean, it's about time to get that done and over with, isn't it?
Yes, I think for everyone involved, man, 100%. Yeah.
It's about time to get that done and over with. So,
Yeah.
I mean, 3 more quarters, and one of them's a preceptorship. So, and it's the last one, right? So, easy money.
And then you're off to stick people for real. For real.
Or whatever, you know, or wherever I'm led, wherever I find out. So I got some more places to go learn about nursing and do this and that. And I mean, everybody kind of just assumes I'm going to go into emergency medicine or something traumatic and crazy. And I might, but I'm open to working for my butt doctor and, you know, helping with colonoscopies because I'm the only dude who goes to get one and gets a job offer. So,
oh, serious? Nice.
Oh, I didn't tell you guys. I've told this story a bunch, but it's true. I went and got one this summer because I needed it. I was hitting that ripe old age of 45 and went in and got a preceptorship and job offer. It's like sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Even though something much longer and darker than a Sensei Nay cigar is coming at me. So,
yeah,
oh, that's
like,
good. Speaking of
let's
speaking of the cigars, Sensei, how we doing?
But I'm sorry, AJ, but Bone's going to be a labor and delivery nurse. That's going to be his.
I might be. It could be my calling.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. Get your catcher's mitt ready.
Catch or release.
Very nice. All right, Sensei, are you back with us?
I think so. We'll find out. Right. Let's see. This last weekend, actually, yesterday and Friday, I got a lot of work done in the wood shop. I'm getting real close to finishing those first 3 displays out of 5. Let's see. Rained quite a bit here this weekend, though, so I was working around my motorcycle in the shop. That was fun. My daughter was freaking out because she thought that the impending hurricane was coming straight for Charleston, and in her mind, there was no telling her different. And now it looks like it's going to come like within, I don't know, many hundreds of miles from the United States. It's supposed to stay completely out to sea and then turn right and go into deeper ocean. It's really weird. So I haven't quite told my daughter I told you so, but I will probably do that after this podcast. Let's see. Call. Today's cigar is a I have no idea. It was just sitting in the bottom of my humidor. It's about this long and it's brown. So other than that, I can't tell you about it.
All right. Yeah, that
smells good.
I got an issue with Sensei here. So,
am I in trouble?
On the cruise I was on, they had a smoking lounge and a humidor and all that. Man, they had what are they? The Davidoffs. Oh yeah. Yeah, those are the biggest bunch of garbage cigars I ever smoked in my life, man. You talk about, and I'm assuming it was how they were treated that they had.
Okay.
I mean, I followed Sensei's advice, man. I had my cutter, I put it down, and I went, I cut it down just a tip, sitting there smoking it. Man, that bitch unraveled like it was cool. I was like, the hell?
Really?
And I was, it kept peeling off, and I'm like, okay. And I was
Wow.
like, let me light this sucker again. Let me light it some more. Finally, I was down to it looked like a damn Tootsie Roll. And I'm like, man, all these other guys are in there like, man, what are you smoking? I was like, hey, it's one of the Davidoffs, and they're like, I never seen one do that.
Exactly.
And I was like,
You're the
and
lucky
I'm
one.
sitting, it kept rolling down and rolling down. It was peeling down. And I was like, yeah, it wasn't even. I was like, yeah, I was like, man, screw your damn cigar.
You needed your toothpick like Sensei over there.
Yeah.
Well,
you
yeah,
need,
the
you
one
need to start.
the
You need to
one
start
guy
following
actually-
my advice
Yeah,
about cylindrical objects and putting them in your mouth
Yeah.
and sucking on them.
Yeah.
The one guy, he was in there every day. He said he smoked 8 to 12 cigars a day. Looked like Santa Claus.
cow.
Had a big old beard. He was in there in the morning. He'd be in there afternoon. You get back in there at night. 6 o'clock, he was in there. You go in there at freaking midnight. He was in there. He goes, "Oh, do you want my?" He pulled out his little toothpicky thing. He goes, "You want my tooth? You want my thing?" I was like, "Dude, I don't even want to smoke this damn thing."
Wow.
He goes, "Oh, here, take it." He comes walking over and he gives it to me and sticks it in. I'm like, doing that. I'm like, what the hell am I smoking?
Hopefully it wasn't a wacky tobacco.
I will say that I am extremely sorry for your Davidoff experience. I've never seen a Davidoff do that before. And quite honestly, if something unrolls like that, especially after you light it, that's usually a humidity thing.
Yeah.
That
I'm
tells
assuming
me-
that's what it was. It was.
Yeah, that tells me that it's either under or overly humidified. And I'm guessing under.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the whole the one guy was in there. He was a Marine vet. And man, I met more Army vets, Air Force vets, and even what's the new one?
Space Force?
Space Force, yeah, he was in there.
A
Young
vet?
guy was in there, yeah.
Well, I hope you got his info so he could be a guest.
We're
on
all,
there.
I was sitting there talking to everybody and their brother about the podcast, but the Marine vet, he was like, "Oh man, you got to try this, you got to do this." Man, Vic, you and him would have had a freaking. You guys would have spent hours just going on talking about cigars. He goes, "Oh yeah, I get up in the morning." He said, "Yeah, I got my humidor's got 7 drawers on it. I got all this and this and that." He said, if I get up in the morning, I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to smoke." He said, "Yeah, I get a cigar out." He said, I take it out of the humidor and I let it sit. It's got to rest. It's got to rest. Because if it doesn't rest and you light it up, he said, it'll crack, this and that. So he said, it's got to acclimatize to outside the humidor, this and this and that. And he said, he just kept going on. And I was like, man, there's that much time goes into a damn smoking a cigar? He goes, absolutely.
Not when I smoke it.
I was like, okay. I was like, all right. He goes, yeah, you got to take it out. You got to let it sit. You got to let it rest. You can't just take it out. You can't just light it. I was like, okay. I said, man, I gotta hook you up with my buddy Vic. He goes, oh, I'd love to sit and talk with him, man. We talked for hours about cigars. I was like, okay.
Yeah, Vic, hours.
Man, can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just curious as to what you had to say about that.
I don't necessarily subscribe to that particular methodology of smoking cigars. There are a few people that take it to that extreme. I'm not one of them. But if they feel that it influences their smoking experience, then go on, man. You do you.
Well,
Yeah,
the guy that said he smoked 8 to 12 cigars a day, he goes, man, he said, I've got probably 200 cigars in my humidor. And he said, I just smoke what I like. He said, I don't give a damn what anybody says, if it's this, if it's that. He said, I got some high price stuff in there, but he said, I don't give a damn. Yeah, he's like, I just smoke what I like.
My
I
favorite
was
cigar
like,
is
yeah.
$9.
Yep.
Might as well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this guy, he was talking. He's like, yeah, my average cigar. Yeah, he was bragging. He said,
Of course.
yeah. He said, on a good day, he said, you know, my normal smoke's like a $25 cigar.
Good
I
for
was
him.
like, holy shit. You smoke a 25? He goes, yeah, that's my average, but, you know,
Whatever.
you know.
Literally
was
lighting
like-
it on fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just roll them out dollar bills and just
Yeah.
toking them
I
up.
mean-
And he's sitting there yapping at me about my Tootsie Roll I'm smoking. But, you know.
I mean, if you were smoking a
love it.
Davidoff, I mean, was it a little tiny Davidoff or one of the regular sized Davidoffs?
It's a regular size. It was.
then-
It had to be. It had to be the way it was stored. It was.
I mean, the cheapest Davidoff you can get, I'm guessing on a ship. Did you buy it on boat?
I bought a 5-pack of them, and it was. They were $20 a piece.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So I was gonna say, like in our humidor, the cheapest Davidoff you can get is $19, and it's like a shorter.
Yeah.
It's like shorter
Yeah.
than a Robusto.
Well, it wasn't. You know, it wasn't extra long, but it was. You know.
Yeah, probably Robustos.
Better,
but like
better.
the normal Robusto in our shop is $23.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got yours at a deal. Well, that's still good, but like
Yeah.
I mean, that's maybe. Hopefully, that was just a knockoff. Have you smoked any other ones out of that box?
I'd probably 2 of them, and
Did they unwrap also?
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, man.
They were the 6 inches. You know, Andrew would know about those. Like
Yeah,
6
I
inches.
know all about it. Yeah. 6 inches. 6 inches.
Yeah, when you fold it in half, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
They didn't
well,
taste bad. Don't by no means did they taste bad, but I was not impressed. I was like, oh man, Nick talks about these all the damn time.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Then I bought a Romeo and Juliet, and that baby smoked like it was cool. It took me like an hour and a half to smoke that fucker. I was just like,
Nice. Well, let's move on to the next thing. I have a surprise one for you guys. I know we sent out a bunch of different things, but did you guys see of the Michigan church shooting and fire that happened? Did you guys happen to see that?
Yeah, one dead, 7 or 9 injured, something like that, at a Mormon church. Yeah.
Yeah.
And reportedly a Marine that did it.
Oh, I didn't know it was a Marine. I did see that it was a veteran, but I didn't see it was a Marine.
Well, that's not good.
Not verified for sure, but
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah, that's not good.
And I couldn't find anything that's, anybody is saying why he did it or anything. I haven't seen anything. But he tried to do a getaway. I guess he drove his truck into it first, then got out, set a fire, and started shooting people with a rifle, and then got in his truck and tried to beat feet, and the cops ended up shooting him, killing him. Just,
oh, man. Hope it wasn't a Marine.
It's just another shooting after another shooting. It just keeps going, It's crazy. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, that would imply that our society is starting to show symptoms of a larger problem. When all these things pop up, they're not knockoffs, they're not one-offs. These are all symptoms of a much larger problem.
Mental health.
Well, it
affects everybody too. I mean,
it's not just mental health. I mean, some of these people that do this are deranged, and I would say that the vast majority of them are, mentally unstable. But it also, the bigger picture is why. Why do they feel like violence is the only answer? Part of their mental condition, I agree with that. But when you hear the same rhetoric over and over and over that the people in charge are fascists, the people in charge are Marxists, they're Nazis, they're this, they're that. When you lay the groundwork of hateful speech, not just hateful but evil speech, then people think that they're justified in meeting evil with evil.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's where our society, and that's where I feel like our society is at right now. And one of the biggest voices that was turning that around was Charlie Kirk, and he has been silenced forever.
Yeah, but I've been seeing different things that said we are Charlie Kirk. So a lot of things people are publishing or putting things out on social media said we are Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Basically saying we're here for his voice or what have you.
Well, I hope that wasn't a part of that.
Yeah, hopefully not.
There was nothing he was doing that was pushing towards that, at least from my perspective.
Yeah.
But,
and hopefully
I don't
the
know.
training with that, they say they're going to carry on Charlie Kirk's work. Hopefully the training that they're doing, getting people educated up and trained how to debate properly, just like Charlie did. He didn't go back and forth. He let them speak, and he asked them for the courtesy to let him speak.
Yep.
And so it was never a back and forth, trying to talk over each other, stuff like that. He controlled the situation, everything like that. So hopefully that through his Turning Point USA training, they will continue on that path.
Yeah.
So that we do get way more people out there understanding how to debate and how to communicate back and forth properly, without violence.
Yeah. That's you. I think there's a fine line, but people got to understand that you can have a disagreement with somebody and you can still be friends, or you can still be cordial, or you can still be, anything like that. It doesn't have to turn to violence.
Yeah.
It's kind of a product of the what everybody takes in, and no generation's exempt, right? From the millennials down to the even Gen X down, right? We're all subjected. We're all on this internet. We're all in echo chambers, social media, the TikTok algorithms, and what everyone just gets is the loudest, sharpest, most, even in some cases obnoxious voice wins. Like screaming down somebody is what gets you views, what gets you likes. It gets you further up in the algorithm. Outrage sells. Outrage has been selling for years, and that's not brand new to this very recent history, but it's been going on for decades. It's just been escalating and different. And now, kind of like when we went to a 24-hour news cycle, right? It didn't used to be that way. It was in the morning and you could watch the 5 or the 7, and then, maybe that was it. And C-SPAN at some point, some crap, but like 24-hour news, all this polarization and screaming, that's all anyone gets. And that's all anyone takes in. And it just, that breeds. Now, then you mix that with mental instability from any party, right? Not, and I say party person is what I more mean, but like from veterans, the right, the left, the this, the that, the college kids, it transcends like so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, there's 5 of us on here right now. I promise you, the 5 of us do not agree with everything.
True.
I promise you, we do not all have the same thoughts and what we agree on and what our, what we think. I'm sure we're pretty close, but the big thing is that, like you were saying, Bone, and even I think Angie, you were saying, Mark, you were saying that we've all talked about in the past that it's like, okay, we've lost that ability to just talk. I don't have to agree with you. I don't have to like anything you have to say, but does that mean I freaking hate you? Absolutely not. I mean, it's like we can agree to disagree, we can agree. It's like, man, we see things completely different.
Yeah.
But I don't understand this mindset now where we've got to, just absolutely destroy somebody else because, we think you're agree differently than I do.
Yeah.
And I actually, I hate to say this, Bone, but being out in Washington State a couple of weeks ago, actually, kind of experienced that again, and it's like, what the fuck? I mean, seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, you do get a different feel, different places where you go, but
Yeah.
what's wild is any individual, if you actually are out, not behind a keyboard where it's safe and you can blast and
Yeah,
do whatever
absolutely.
kind
Yeah.
of, but if you just go and listen and interact, we're all veterans. Yeah, we are probably way more close in line. I go to a class with 2 to 4 professors, at any given time, and 18 other people,
Yeah.
and they are from this area and everything, and we are diametrically opposed on a lot of things, but everyone in there is like so supportive of each other, and it's almost like yeah, it's at the end of the quarters we get together. Some people are very close, others, I don't know, I'm an old man with a family and some other stuff, but like everybody's in there with one goal: support each
Yeah.
other, learn, graduate. Nobody's a piece of crap to each other, and we all know
Yeah.
there are people that are different. And trust, if I've had some grumpy old man, early onset Republican, like little tirades that I've just had to just say and get out, but then it's always followed up with conversation and discussion.
Yeah.
And you have to be present with another human in the flesh, listen, talk, and then either modify your conclusion or, hey, agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And then be like, and then it's like, hey, you know what? Thanks. I really got educated. Let me buy your beer. And then you go your separate ways, or you keep talking and learning. But that's gone, man. It's not all gone. It's just way harder to find. It's sad.
Yeah, we've got to open ourselves up to it. That's the big thing, is quit being so damn opinionated and actually, I mean, it's amazing, even going out and talking to my son and talking to him about Charlie Kirk. I was like, hey, what's your thought on that? This and this and that. And, he and I talked about it. And we talked about it before we went on a cruise. We talked about it when we were on a cruise. We talked about it when we were in a cigar bar, Vic. When there's other people talking about it. But it's amazing that what you can actually get from other people. It's like, okay, well, I didn't think about it like that. It wasn't Charlie Kirk per se, but, just in general, it's like, all right, when it was a guy, he's from Canada, and I actually looked him up online and friends with him on Facebook now. He's actually a damn, goes around and he builds, does like, in the Bahamas and stuff. He's a big wig that, builds buildings and stuff like that. And his wife's a damn eye surgeon in Canada.
Nice.
And, I looked him up and I was like, holy shit, this guy's, he's not lying. But he was just talking about, the difference between Canada and the United States and how much he looks towards the United States, but it was amazing. I sat there for 2 hours sitting there. I was like, all right, I'm about done with this cigar. Let me light another one, Big. Sitting there listening to him and just listen to him talk. But it was amazing that it was like, holy shit, there's a whole different perspective.
Yeah.
On life and the world and how we look at things and how they look at things and how they actually, he's like, man, I look up to you guys. But it's really interesting where you can just actually sit down and have a damn conversation with people.
Yeah.
And Vic, I would, sorry, Andrew, Vic, I would assume you would, especially in, as far as like you as a teacher and as far as like the school board stuff, I can only imagine how that has to be for you to try to listen and accommodate and deal with things like that.
Well, as far as teaching goes, most of my classes are middle school, so they don't care about politics.
Okay.
But for on the school board, absolutely. Our school board is 11 members, and 8 of them I would consider liberals, and then 3 of us are Republican, and 2 of us are very Republican, and they are conservative, I should say, and then 1 of us is conservative leaning. So it's very, very difficult. I'm constantly having to swallow my pride almost on a weekly basis because I'm not part of the majority vote. And when it comes to fiscal things, we all agree, thank God. But when it comes to some policy things, we don't agree. And it's tough to constantly have to defend my position. The people just look at it and they're like, okay, whatever, dude. You done saying your piece? Because it's going to be 8-3. You know, yeah. Are you done talking? You know, okay. You know, and then we vote, and then it's always 3. 3 no, and 8 yes, or vice versa. So it's especially all the book stuff that we went through, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, you guys remember that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's I mean, we just went through another whole little thing where the county green space committee wants us to have 6 acres of land, wants to give us 6 acres of land that we don't need, and they just want us to take care of it. Like they literally just want us to mow it.
Nice.
Like why? And everybody, majority of the school board, 8 of them were like, why would we not take the land? It's green space. You're not allowed to do anything with it. You can't develop it at all. It has to stay green space, and it has to be unfettered access to the public. So not only is it green space and it can't be developed into anything else, we have to leave it open to the public so people can wander in, get bit by snakes, trip on logs, and break an ankle. And guess who pays for it? The school board.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
you've got to assume the cost for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I tried to convince everybody of this, and I'm like, and all the money was donated to buy the green space so that they could gift it to the school board, right? Gift it to the school district. And I'm like, my final comments on the whole topic, just before we took the vote, I was the last person to speak before we voted on it. I said my final comments were, somebody is getting $2.25 million worth of tax donation, credit.
Yeah.
$2.25 million, and we get none of that. The county offloading the responsibility, any type of liability of this onto us, and they want to change the traffic patterns in that area because it's next to our school. That's the main reason they said they justified wanting to give it to us, is because it's across the street from the school. I mean, if our mowers are out mowing everything, might as well just mow that property too, right? Literally what they said. And then they were like, well, since the town's wanting to change the traffic pattern around there, now the town doesn't even have to pay the private owners of this the current market value for their easements or right of ways. Now they just come to the school district, the handshake, and it's done.
Mm.
And what does the school district get out of all this? We get to mow it. We don't get anything out of it. We're not allowed to develop it. We're not allowed to sell it. We're not allowed to do anything with it.
Wow.
We get to mow it.
Well, that's fun.
And I don't get it. Why would we? I mean, I know it's free, but why would we take on the liability?
Because it's free and it's a green spray. That's what you're thinking too much. Stop thinking. Stop applying reason and math.
Yeah,
it's green. It's a green space and it's free. Yes, that's what you're missing. Is like you got to get. We are reasonable men. We simply live in unreasonable times, and that's it. Thinking beyond the word free. And I know, there's another saying, right? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Well,
yeah.
This gift, you look in this thing, it got no teeth, man. How's the gift horse going to get ridden and hold a bridle? How do you just have 6 acres that you have to, again, liability, maintenance, these things, like fiscally responsible people look at that. It takes, it's not even being cynical or being that, it's just a little scratch under the surface or a little conversation and maybe listen to, Sensei Nay, he might know what he's talking about, right? Or just open your eyes to the thing. But like you said, it probably voted 8-3 and they took it, right?
Yeah.
You have green space.
Yeah, and the chair of the board spent, like, even after we were done with the meeting, the chair board came up to me and is like, well, this and that and this and that and this and that, and I'm like, hey, you don't have to convince me. You're not going to convince me. But you know what? This is the process. We vote on it. My vote was that minority vote. That's okay. And you know what else? I told the guy. I looked at him. I called him by his name. I said, you know what else? I still love you.
Good for you.
Just
Exactly.
just because we disagree doesn't mean I don't like you anymore. You're not my enemy because we disagree. We just disagree, and that's okay. And the guy next to the third guy that was standing next to us went like this. He goes and walked off.
What?
Mic drop. Like mic drop, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
because basically I ended the conversation with that. It was like, I still love you. And the guy was like, mic drop, and walked off.
Yeah, I got to say that that's one of the big things that we're missing out on, in my humble opinion. So I've been doing these jarhead hot takes, and with that, I do it every day. But it's uplifting. I'm not doing negative things. I'm trying to do positive, uplift everybody, those types of things, and that's what we're missing, in society in general. Being able to talk and communicate, and just be nice to one another. Where did that go?
Yeah. I wholeheartedly believe it was the introduction of massive multiplayer online platforms.
Yeah, I can see that.
When Halo first went online, and then social media followed soon thereafter, when Halo first went online, you could do whatever you wanted to somebody without repercussion. You could down talk somebody, you could cuss them out and call them names with no consequence at all.
Yeah.
None. And then now those kids, back when Halo went online, went as an MMO, now those guys are now corporate business leaders.
Yeah.
I mean, they're our age now. They're our age now,
Yeah.
So and I may be wrong, but I believe that it was like a huge contributing factor, and that spilled over into social media too. You can do whatever you want online, pretty much without repercussion. You can say whatever you want. You can lie. You can throw out slander. You can call people Nazis. You can call people fascists with no repercussion at all.
Yeah.
And
that's a good point.
But it's a catch-22. We still have our First Amendment right. So, I mean, you can't curtail any of that stuff online. People are allowed to call you whatever they want. They can call you whatever name you want. They can say outright lies, and it's their freedom of speech.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, other than trying to get people to want to stop doing that. You're not going to stop them from doing it. You have to stop people from wanting to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do that.
We just got to get all of us to be able to be more positive, I suppose. I don't know. So I guess we can move on. Hegseth has been in the news quite a bit this week. One of the things is I sent that article to you, but Hegseth Axe's panel that encourages women to enter the military. I thought that was interesting, man. What did you guys think about that?
I say that if women want to enter the military, they're not going to need a panel to tell them to do it.
It's a good point.
I mean, our recruiters are out there doing the job anyways. I mean, recruiters are just trying to make their numbers. They're trying to get their contacts. They're trying to get their office visits. They're trying to get their appointments. They're trying to get their interviews. They're just trying to do their 7 programs and make their mission every month. And they don't care what piping you got. So I don't understand the point of this council. I don't.
Yeah, I get it at that. I get it at that thing, and I agree with you, Vic. And I kind of disagree. I agree to not have a council that you don't need for no reason, right? It's kind of along with fraud, waste, and abuse. Why are we throwing good money at something net neutral or worthless? I mean, I think that, and I read the article, and there's a little bit of mixing different issues that they kind of commingled that I think they were non sequitur. I think there's a absolute place for women in the military. I think women in direct combat, I don't agree with. I don't believe in. I think that is detrimental to safety, morale, lethality. And I'm not saying they can't fly a jet. So again, you got to figure these combat rules, but this this GI Jane concept is good movie, by the way, but like
It is, yeah.
it's a movie, it's not reality. And there's different things that are politically driven, agenda driven that have happened. And so I don't know why it seems like there was just a commingling of issues where it's like, what do you, and so, maybe it's that, but maybe they're trying to start this other conversation or go, we need to re-examine and redirect, how we approach combat roles for the female sex. And so, and that's, I think that actually is a good conversation to have, but
Yeah.
that's kind of weird, they're going to join it. Good. They're heroes.
Mark, do you have anything from the E9 level about that? I mean, people that run in circles up at your level. I mean, is there any was there any discussion about actively recruiting females or minorities or anything like that?
No, there was never any. I was never involved in any type of boards or panels about that. But my opinion, just like what Bowen said, direct combat roles, infantry, things like that, they don't belong there. They like I said, it does not add to the lethality. It causes more issues, more problems, and it's just not worth. We're not a social experiment. We're a means to keep our country free.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what are the issues? Or, I mean, I have my personal opinion on it, but I'm asking you from your opinion. What are the issues? What are the issues with a woman being an infantry unit?
Having women in those direct combat roles in an infantry platoon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just you put young men and women together, things are going to happen. Nature's going to take its course, and it destroys unit cohesion. You cannot have a fully, totally tight fighting unit when you've got one or two females in the unit. It just can't be done. It'll erode the fighting spirit, the discipline, and the integrity of that unit.
Yeah.
And who was it? There was somebody in 2nd Marine Division, one of the units over there, that did the experiment. They did it. I don't know if it was 6 months or whatever the case was, but they.
Well, that was ran out of Quantico. It was out of Quantico. Where they put the, they had an all-female unit, mixed female unit, and a all-male unit together. They trained them up. They gave them all the training, same ammunition, same everything, and it just did not work. The scores on everything were lower. Performance on everything, right? All metrics was lower.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Mark, you looking at it? I mean, I'm not trying to be funny or be stupid when I ask this, but are you looking at it as a sexual thing between men and women, or are you looking at it as a protective thing, as men towards women?
Yes,
that's how
all
I'm
the above.
At it.
All
that's
of the
how
above.
I'm looking at it. And I even look, in 03. When what was it in it wasn't Diwania, but what was that Army group went into, they got overrun, and they made a whole big PR thing out of it that during the invasion of Iraq in 03, where they went into a town and they had freaking night vision, whatever, and then they got overrun, and she got basically kidnapped. What the hell was her name?
Captured. Yeah.
Jessica Lynch, I think, maybe.
Yes, yeah. And then we had to go in and rescue her, and they made a whole big deal out of it. Yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't, I'm not saying it was a bad thing, but that's my outlook on it as far as females and infantry units like that unfortunately, I guess we're all men, and that's our natural instinct is, we have wives, we have daughters, is to be protective. Would that not be a natural thing in an infantry unit?
natural for anybody who you just described, as well as that, and as well as EMS and first responders. Anybody in that ilk probably has like a hyper protective and like I guess protective. I'm trying to think of a different word, but that stance on it. And I can tell you that this is in line with what Mark said and what you're bringing up is that this also has negative mental health effects on the men who have to watch women die. Carnage is one thing, but there's a difference between two. It just is. It's just when you're a male, and it's a difference between me and an Iraqi fighting each other versus dead women and children, or mass graves, or these atrocities. And war is horrible, and even even having to take another man's life in combat, even though you're on opposite sides, it is still horrible. But there's a difference for, I think, most people, if they're being honest, than having that is an actual component to that for people who do look at that, who look at women as from a loving place as needing to be protected and cared for. And there's a 101, maybe even more. There's 1,001 jobs for women in the military, and I love and support that. Direct combat, that and there's still risk in those jobs and stuff. And so their service isn't discounted or minimized by this, but it's exactly what Mark said and what you've come up. And then I throw that in there. That is more harmful mentally in some ways, and or definitely can be. And I think it's a disingenuous and an out and out lie if you were to look in, to look into that and ask those questions of people who deal with it.
So we were talking a second ago about the study and everything that went down. This guy on the TikTokers over here is Chris. He said it was around the 2015 to 2018 time frame. He said he was at MMEA when they ran the study, and one thing that came out, it was load-bearing unit assignable requirements. So individuals had to have certain scores on attributes like CFT, movement to contact, things like that. Data populated on their spec dumps so you could see they met those criteria before issuing orders. And it was like a PME completed flag or promotion. LBUA assignable would have a yes or a no. So that's some of the stuff that came out of it. Anyways, wanted to share that.
That was my point that I was going to bring up. I mean, there's the whole protective thing that men are hardwired to be and do, right?
Yeah.
So like having some, a female go down next to you, you immediately want to protect her. But when it comes down to the physical aspect, a woman cannot carry this. Now I say average. The average woman cannot carry the same weight as the average male, right? So there's just that. So some men are going to have to carry the slack of the women that can't carry the load. They're the load. And then, and one of those loads being another man. If I go down, I want somebody to drag me to safety. And if the closest person next to me is a female, she's not going to be able to do that. If I got my, I'm, at my weight, I was 210 plus full battle rattle. There's no woman's going to be able to carry that dead weight. They might be able to drag me but not much.
I wouldn't want to carry that weight. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but like when guys hyped up on adrenaline, I mean, I would trust somebody to be able to carry me out.
Yeah, that's true.
But like the physical aspect alone, I just that alone, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And I say average. There are probably a handful of women in each service that can do the same thing as the lowest standard male,
or even the highest standard males.
Yeah.
Look, I've met a couple of the women Marines. Man, holy cow! There was one when I was going through the martial arts instructor course. Man, she was freaking. I was going to say a stud. I don't know, studette. I don't know what the term is there. But man, she was awesome. I mean, she could kick anybody's butt. It was amazing.
Nah, not mine.
Oh,
and you don't have to say the one or two. I mean, and here's where we have to get Ricky Ticky. And I always say this because I used to be a defensive tactics instructor. And trust me, I would love up my female officers and I would train them and teach them to fight, survive, do these things. But I'll tell you, when you start making those concessions, yeah, I can't beat Ronda Rousey in a Olympic judo fight. She's good. That's her Olympic sport. I will agree to that. I'm talking a fight or a fight for life or combat.
Yeah.
I'm going to drag her up and down wherever I want. Trust and believe, because that's my mindset and that's different. And then I've also been blessed with the separate genetics, the higher VO2 max, the more muscle. And then I also just weigh more, even though I'm a little fella. Right. So, you know what I mean? Whatever. I'm 5'8" and $190, but like we love these women. We love their service. We know they're strong. We know they're fit. They're all these great things, but that is like, I mean, that's just some, pardon my French, that's some horse shit. Like, I will beat that ass if it's about a survival thing, if it's about winning a war or completing an objective. And Mark's nodding because Mark gets it. But again, it comes back to what Mike said too. Like, let's not pretend or pander. Sorry for my rant.
No, I mean, you know, like my wife, I don't think there's anybody can outwork her as far as work ethic and as far as a nurse and her ethics. And, you know, I don't think any of us cannot say that about our wives. And I put my wife up against anybody on a daily basis as far as ability to work 7 12s in a row, you know, and just do things like that, you know, as far as a nurse and what they go through. But when it comes down to, you know, like Mark's saying, I don't think it's a good idea. And that's what you're saying, Bone. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's like someone's going to get picked up and thrown around. Yeah, there's some women out there that will have ability to put a stomp on your ass. Mm-hmm. But the majority of them, unless they're hopped up on something, it's like, okay. You know, and that's what I get accused of being, Bone. I'm a little dude now, you know. I'm a little guy. That's what my son calls me. Okay, little guy.
Little fella.
You're just a little guy, you know. But I was like, I promise you, this little guy's going to put a whooping on somebody's ass. I promise you.
I mean, it's a mindset thing. And women can have that, and then they do. And like you said, when we come down to like, this is also a societal shift. And I guess we're all in a podcast where it's seeming where we agree. Well, you can see when societies erode and degrade, men are fighting women in the Coliseum. 4 little people are fighting one dude, but he only gets a trident, where it's a gong show. And then we're murdering our babies and everyone's the same and can be whatever they want to be whenever they want to be it. And you have to just go along with this. It's like, this is when, look at Rome, look at these other societies, when the affluence and the easiness and the amount of time on your hands, there's a reason why they call idle hands the devil's plaything. It goes the same for the mind. It creates a weird and different rot. And it's something that it doesn't have to come from like a spiritual or a religious place. It usually does. And I wish more it would for more people. But what I'm saying is, objectively, you can look at this and you can see these things from the past and we're repeating it. And it's not a good situation, man. And so, yeah, I just like at that level and what we're talking about, not the service, just that combat arm stuff or lying to people because we want them to feel good. They need to know people who are smaller, people who are thinner, people who don't have 20 years of fighting or combat experience or didn't do a martial art. You need to, if they're going to serve, like as a cop or in like even the military at any risk, like you need to teach them and train that you have tools, you have weapons. You need to know when to utilize them righteously. You need to know how to articulate why you did that, right? And so it's easy. It's easier for them to escalate and use higher force and do different things. But they need to be told and taught that, not that they're the same as me, right? So that's not helpful. You gotta get it. And if you do it right and you do it out of a place of love and wanting to preserve their life and you get them home at the end of their deployment or at the end of their shift, then you have some integrity and you say what's real and you give them the tools to survive, not a bunch of platitudes and horse shit so they feel good. That serves nobody. And that's going to get you killed, right? Or your men and women that you're leading or serving with. So
have you guys seen the YouTube video that compares the recruiting videos from Russia, China, and the United States?
I have. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, that says it all, in my opinion. And that is why
These are laughing at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so glad that Hegseth is like, we are getting back to lethality. We are getting back to lethality. No more of this. I'm Army strong because I have 2 moms. You know, that's okay for some people, but not in the Army, not in the Marine Corps, not in any of the services. I mean, if that's why you think you're strong because you have good feelings, you know, you feel good about yourself. No, I want somebody that can put rounds on target. I want somebody that, you know, that can spend 3 days out in the bush and, you know, take a well-aimed shot and come home. That's what I want. I don't care if you feel good because you have 2 moms. That's ridiculous.
Speaking of weapons and things of that nature, did you see the article where Trump is going to unleash U.S. military power on the cartels? Come on now. Do you think that's about time or what?
Well, I don't disagree with it, but I am with Congress in that I don't know that. I think it's a stretch calling it because he has to basically initiate the war powers of the president, and he can only wage war for 30 days. You know,
Right.
So like I think he's tightrope walking on a very thin line when it comes to the legality of being able to call out these strikes. If he's gonna like wage war, he needs to get Congress behind him. And right now it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think that's well said. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely needs to get Congress behind him. I think it's actually it's smart, in my opinion, as far as taking on the cartel. I think if you're going to do it, you need to do it with the military. I think that's going to be a better way of doing it.
I'm not opposed to him like taking out or it's not him, you know, him authorizing, taking out these one-off boats that are, coming in our direction, obviously with, fentanyl and other drugs that are to kill our citizenry or injure our citizenry.
Right.
But taking it to a foreign country, taking our forces to another Venezuela, kind of thing. If we land troops on their shore, that's.
Like you said, he's got 30 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Well,
if
that's the
Congress
big
doesn't
thing.
back his play, they got to leave.
Well, that's the big thing. They're talking now that in the process of doing that, there's going to be sleeper cells that are in the United States woke up at that point. So is that an actual thing? Or
I'd say there probably is. I think there's sleeper cells around.
Yeah. No, there's got to be. It doesn't get probably the press it deserves, but every now and then the FBI, despite some of their issues, does great work and discovers these things, right? I mean, that's a deeply, at times, corruptible organization. Like
that was a backhanded compliment, like I've ever seen.
It was, but then at other times they crush, and I think they do find sometimes they act actionably on these cells and locate them before they act and stuff, which is great. But that being said, I think that in general, the bigger threat, and I think this is what I heard as I was exiting the military a couple of years ago, is that insider threat. I mean, look at what we have now. It's not a sleeper cell that woke up and kicked out that Michigan church shooter. It's somebody that's plugged into all the wrong things and has this break with reality to go murder, and even murder one or commit mass murder. You're not, as a human, that shouldn't be what's in your right mind, right? And so that's the real thing, is these influences and other stuff that sparks this. And then what, you pour some fent from Venezuela on it and this and that. And now we have a recipe for disaster. And this guy is probably a lot harder to pinpoint, identify than, unfortunately, what, 6 dudes from Iran that are all trying to get like flying lessons or something at the same time. What do we talk? You know what I'm saying? Like, So, and again, it's more covert and harder than that. But I think the bigger thread is the other one is what we kind of already talked about.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Well, we're hitting about that hour mark here, so we can go ahead and wrap up. Well, we can jump into words of wisdom as soon as I find the thing. Let me do it again. We're going to go into words of wisdom. That wasn't very wise of me to not have it prepped and ready to go. I apologize. All right, words of wisdom. We got 2 of us are down. They're out doing something. But we can start with you, Bone. What words of wisdom you got for us?
I'd say, however you approach it, guard your mind and guard your heart, and just be present and reasonable, and you can make these changes and impacts we've talked about, and change hearts and minds. So, but it starts with you, the viewer.
Yeah, that's right. I like that. It was a good word, Bone. Appreciate it. All right, Sensei, what do you got?
So this is Mark has spoken the most tonight that I've heard him speak in many weeks. So this one is for him. Age imprints more wrinkles on the mind than on the face. Okay.
One more time, man.
Age imprints more wrinkles on the mind than on the face. Think about that.
I disagree with that.
I mean, all the experiences that one goes throughout their life, think about what that puts on the brain, and there are some wrinkles to show for it on the face, but age imprints more wrinkles on the brain than on the face.
Yeah, just look at Mark.
That's what I'm saying.
That's your wrinkly brain.
Got your wrinkly brain over here. I like it.
Mark's doing
Speaking
good though.
Brains,
that Jameson helps Mark. That Jameson helps Mark. So yeah.
Of course it does.
All right, Mike.
What whiskey will not cure, there is no cure for.
Oh.
Tell my wife that. Please tell my wife that. She doesn't believe me.
I know, right?
She doesn't believe me.
Yeah. Carlene, if you're watching this, I hope you heard what Mark said. So
What was the quote? What was the quote, Mark?
What whiskey will not cure, there is no cure for.
Mark said, "What whiskey will not cure, there's no cure for." Cure for.
Cure for.
Cure for. Yeah.
Man,
she's half asleep, and I was trying to tell it to her, but never mind. Anyways.
All right. Where's the wisdom, Mike?
All right. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the first step.
Ooh. Okay.
That was from Martin Luther King.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I like that one. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, as always, we have the motivated, dedicated to the core, your core, my core, our core, Mark O'Loughlin, bringing it up with the goodies at the end.
Okay, well, for today, I'm gonna quote the Bible, Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understandings. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path.
Wow. That was good. That was good. Mark bringing it in like he always does. I appreciate it. Man, you guys rock. Thanks for coming on and doing this with me. I don't know. What did you guys think about today's format? Was it a little bit better? What do you guys think?
I liked it a lot.
It was good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
All right.
I didn't get to share my good news, but I mean that's fine. Whatever you want, that's fine. I was going to talk about a dog that cured cancer, but that's fine.
Dang.
No,
Maybe
no
we
problem.
should have heard about that.
I'm kidding.
A dog curing cancer. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's whatever you want. That's good. Fine, whatever.
Nice. All right, guys. Thanks for coming on and doing this. Much appreciated. I love you guys. It's like I said on one of my things that I did this week. Tell your friends that you love them. Don't be too scared to tell them that you love them. Tell your friends that you love them. So, friends, I love you. Thanks for what you do.
Man.
Thanks for helping me out with
You
this.
too, brother.
All right. To all the listeners out there, if you're struggling, need help, anything like that, don't forget that the VA has some great resources. You can always dial 988, press option 1. You can always text 838-255, or you can go to veteranscrisisline.net and click on that chat icon. Any of those options will put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But remember, one veteran life loss is one too many. I care about you. The crew cares about you. The entire veteran community cares about you. So please reach out for help. And if you're out there, you're not struggling, reach out to the buddies you serve with, ask them how they're doing. And if they need that helping hand, please give it to them. All right, one last time. Everybody, thank you. You guys rock. I love you. To everybody out there, stay motivated. Change your socks.
Thanks for tuning in to the Lost Art Project Veterans Voices podcast. Our mission? Simple. Preserve history, one veteran story at a time. If you'd like to support this work, consider making a donation or sponsoring an episode. Every contribution helps us capture and share more stories for future generations. You can learn more and give at thelostart.podbean.com or by clicking the link in the episode's description. Stay motivated, change your socks, and remember, every story matters.